Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Chup the podcast. Our listener Banike Banla. We're your hosts, Adhar,
I'm Soumyata.
Asia?
And Anna.
and today we're back with yet another episode. Yes, we missed yet another week and failed to provide y'all with an episode. But well, the good news is that we are officially high school graduates. All four of us, we graduated high school. IBTP, we're done, I know. But we were very busy on the graduation thing on a plus Friday too, so we were not able to put out an episode. But you can still listen to our latest episode. It's still on our YouTube channel. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Today we're going to be touching on the topics that we had briefly discussed in our last episode. If you haven't heard it yet, go watch it, go listen to it. It is on our channel. We're going to be linking it down below. But it's called Social Media, the Continuation. And this is Bahubali Part 3. I did that. The joke. I killed it. Okay, let's go. So first of all, what we're going to be talking about today, and that was briefly discussed in the last episode, was cancel culture. And in Azate, we are going to kind of have like a debate type of thing about whether or not we like cancel culture. So first of all, I want to ask you guys a question. Are you guys for or against cancel culture?
Against, maybe. Against. I would say against. Mostly against.
What about you, Samila?
I mean, I'd say it depends on the situation because some people really do need to be canceled, but some people are canceled for the stupidest reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Risha?
Same thing. I mean, of course, depends on the situation. Sometimes it's really stupid, okay? Like people getting cancelled for the stupidest things. But then again, sometimes it makes sense. So, of course, depends on the situation. I can't say that I'm against or for it completely. What about you, Other?
So I will say I am for cancel culture because I think that people who are horrible people and have done horrible things do deserve to get canceled. And I think my explanation is that cancel culture is actually stripping somebody's platform and their influence off of them. And I think it's good to do that if they did something horrible, but it gets toxic when there is hatred and negative comments and death threats included and like involved in it. And I wanted to like quickly say this, but I think everybody in the world is against cancel culture. The thing is, even the Urban Dictionary defines cancel culture as a So the Urban Dictionary defines cancel culture as a modern internet phenomenon where a person is ejected from influence, fame by questionable actions. I know. Then it goes on to say it is caused by a critical mass of people who are quick to judge and slow to question. I was like, are you trying to diss us?
Oh my God.
But I have a question for like people who said like not for, like for circumstantial. I mean, like yes, it is circumstantial, like in cancel culture, like boycotting people. But like the mass majority, like cancel culture in general, fundamentally, it does mean boycotting people, whether it's randomly or whether it's for something bad
But
they did.
like,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, it's like basically holding someone accountable for something they did publicly,
That's true.
it's like sort of
Yeah.
social justice paano ko lagi,
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
No
sometimes
matter
people,
if it's minor or major.
yeah, true. But sometimes even the smallest things, people take it
too far.
exame too far, yeah.
Mhm.
And that's it. I don't support.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or else,
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, it's like probably like any other term that's used in the internet. Some people just like to take a new term that like is brought up and just run with it without understanding what it is. And sometimes like it gets out of hand, but most of the time it's valid kind of thing.
yeah, the thing is that there's so much biasness, Panike, with this cancel culture.
Exactly. True.
If you're supporting someone, you're so blindly with their side and supporting them that you aren't able to see the other side. And
Oh.
that just causes a lot of biasness and misunderstanding sometimes. And like,
This was this was so funny.
It's
Like
bad.
you talked about like people being biased. There was this okay, like social media people that were getting cancelled, and you saw comment section like it was like some victim, and it was just something serious, and it was like victim bunny wako guilty, but it was something like that, and people were like, do you know this phrase? It's called like innocent until proven guilty. It's like law,
Mhm.
ne? There are people were literally like comment section where people were like, like how can you support this artist? Like, okay, you doing that is so bad for the victim. Don't you know it's guilty until proven innocent? Like, where's the evidence? Like, you have to prove yourself. Like, that was just the dumbest thing ever. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and that could end someone's career. Like,
Mm,
they might not be at
yeah.
fault, and that could end someone's career. So it's a big thing.
Yeah,
But
but the funny thing about that situation was that the person who was like getting the blame was turned out to be the actual victim. Like it was like half truth, and like things were taken out of narrative, which like usually happens, and that was just so like, and people change sides so quickly.
no,
It's just
that's so true.
in cancel culture, it's very common when like if an artist gets cancelled, like people are like, and if somebody else is, if suppose they're a musician and like your friend, like if somebody else is listening to it, then other people come and attack to you saying like, why are you listening to this artist? Like, do you support whatever they did? So like, what do you guys think? Like, do you think like artists and their art should be separated? Or like, would you still listen to like their art or support their art even if they got cancelled?
I don't think I would. But it's
Yeah,
so hard, because what if it's someone you really like and like you've been listening to their songs, Poila Dekhi, like it's your favorite song, and then that person gets cancelled, and now you're like, am I supposed to listen to that person? Or, I mean, you know, is it right?
exactly.
Mm.
This situation is so difficult when it's like your favorite artist, but like no, if it's not your favorite artist, then obviously you're not going to separate their art and the artist because like it's going to profit them. But then when it comes to your favorite artist, you're going to be like kind of defensive and be like, this is my favorite song kind of thing. So I mean,
No, yeah. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, it's like a person is cancelled for the stupidest reasons, like we said, but like if they did something अति horrible, and it's to the point, like it's inhumane type ish, then I would definitely not listen to that person. I could give an example of certain artists, but I want to admit that I have not always been like this, please. I was a very Big Bang fan, and I was like, my bias was Sungri, and he got into that scandal, and he was accused of human trafficking, I guess. But at that time, I was like, no, Sungri Oppa is right. Sungri Oppa, Chan, Guerrero. At that time, I was like this blind ass fan. I was like, you know what? Like, sungri oppa le pakke pani gore haina so like sungri oppa eh. But now we don't talk about that because like if it's true, I cannot support it. And even if it's not, I'm not comfortable enough to look at the situation and take light of it. Okay, so
True. Like if they do something really bad, then of course I'm not gonna support them because that's bad enough for me to not watch what they post or like their
yeah.
content.
Mhm.
yeah.
But like the question is like, what is like bad? Like to what extent it is like if you say bada cancel करनी and if you bada say it's okay. It's like a little mistake. I could say.
Oh,
What do you
okay.
guys think?
I want
Okay,
to answer that.
so
Okay, actually,
uh,
Risha, go ahead.
okay, so for me, they like I say what say is considerable now because in TikTok, आजकल like there's so much cheating drama, Nita, and they get cancelled for cheating. It's like
Same.
it happens so continuously. Like I'm so over it. I'm like, fine, whatever. Who cares? I'm just like that's something. But then if they do something that's bad, inhumane, as
Mhm.
others said, then of course I'm not gonna support them.
Mhm.
Mhm. I want to add on to what Risha just said. I am not on that side of TikTok, so thank God. But that cheating drama, I remember, I don't think this is exactly cancel culture, but like the fact that people tried to cancel what's his name? Joshua Bassett, just because he broke up with Olivia, was like the stupidest thing ever. Like, it was stupid, I know, but it got really toxic because
I
that
think that
was
is cancel culture. We won't
that's
support
not,
you
I
anymore.
mean,
Yeah.
are you seriously gonna cancel somebody because they didn't date the other person? That's like stupid.
Okay, guys, we're not trying to promote cheating and stuff here, but the thing is, for like mistakes like this, you hold someone accountable. You don't cancel them for dating someone else and not dating
Exactly.
Yeah.
a person
It's
you
their
like.
career, their reputation, their
Oh,
future.
and
Like,
And did you guys see like how people switched one after he came out and two after he said that he had
mm,
a heart failure or something like that? And people
mm,
were like, I feel bad for him. He doesn't deserve this hate, while they were the ones who were hating on him.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
oh, that was
Like,
fast.
I don't understand why Sabrina Carpenter got so much hate. I mean, like, if you're gonna talk, then talk to the guy who broke up, and not, but like,
mm,
just because he's dating someone new doesn't mean she is that blonde girl, you know?
Like talking about how like people don't like constantly try to get to know about the situation and just buy everything that they're familiarized with. I mean, right now there's this like, let's say, culture of like, if you get famous, then people will start digging up on your social media, and
Mm-hmm.
then like constantly try to search for things you said on Twitter and stuff like that. So my question for you would be, would you cancel someone for what they said or did like 5 years ago?
no, don't think I would. It
I
depends,
believe that
obviously.
I believe that
Uh,
yeah, people change. Of course, they
Mm-hmm.
grow up.
Mm,
So they might have done something in the past and they might have learned from it and they aren't like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So like
mm,
accusing them for what they did paila and not looking at what
mm.
they have become now, it's not worth it. It's I think
Yeah.
I would say.
This is why I don't support cancel culture, because even if it's what they did like 5 years ago, what they did now obviously depends on the extent of what they did. But it's like people don't, like, there's no room for forgiveness. It's like, you did this, so like bye bye. Like, it's not like, even if people apologize, it's like, oh, like they just apologize because they got caught, not because they're sorry. Like, oh, like the apology video is so fake. Like, oh, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's no room for change. There's no room for growth. Like, there's no
yeah.
room for, it's not educational, it's just like pure
Yeah.
hate right now. Saying it obviously started as a good intention, and now it's
Yeah.
like okay, like we don't want to see you but people get cancer, but then they still come back, so it's like nobody even learns anything. It's just hate and
Exactly.
repeat, so it's just like, what's the point?
Or recently, Billie Eilish got hate for her previous tweets.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was because of the musically type lip sync video.
Bro, like she gets cancelled every other week, so I mean that's there. But like things like when it comes to like younger artists, son, people like dig up on her and Olivia and everyone, and they're like trying to find any certain things they did. And like artists like this, they grew up in the spotlight and they clearly weren't educated enough when they were like 12 or 13. And right as they're like constantly coming out and like being like, I'm sorry, I wasn't educated, people don't believe that, okay? They're
Mm.
trying to change, but then everyone's like pushing them back to
Mm-hmm.
like that narrative of they're bad and they will forever remain that way kind of thing, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like Anna said, like people are limiting or almost like completely ignoring the fact that change is possible. Yeah. And there was one more thing I wanted to add on this question. So my answer would be yes, but only if they've grown. You know, so Merote, I think there is a very thin line between ignorance and unawareness. And I mean, they're almost like the same word, and but the thin line is unawareness is when you do the thing when because you were unaware that it was offensive or that it was bad, and but if you keep repeating that pattern and you don't even want to learn about it, okay, let's say you did something racist once, then you go ahead like 2 years later and you say something homophobic. Like, have you not learned from your past that it's already bad? So if it kind of comes back and it's like a pattern, then it's ignorance. Okay, you don't even want to learn. You don't even want to be educated about the fact. Okay, that's when I am okay with canceling someone who did things 5 years ago. Like, because they're still like when you talk doing shit that's offensive. So I don't really think I see any growth in them.
Talking about offensive talks, people being offensive, I've seen so many stand-up comedies, and some of them have very offensive jokes. So, like, to what extent do you think these kind of comedies are acceptable?
I don't know why I have like this deep hate against like Nepali stand-up comedy shows because, dude, there's I don't know, they just like completely take it like they don't consider all the feelings that are involved. They don't like even try to consider what is right or wrong. They try to make jokes. I mean, honestly, they're not even funny. But who
Exactly.
lets them run kind of shows is my question.
There was this one video
Yeah,
that
there's this
was
one
sent.
video
Yeah.
that was so bad. It
Yeah.
shows like
Yeah.
how low their thoughts are, okay, how they
You know,
think.
yeah.
Mm,
For
it's
the
Yeah.
context, it was like about women, I mean, like sexual assault, and there were people were joking about it, and which was not funny at all. Yeah,
Exactly.
continue.
No, I mean, I'll agree. Like, I mean, like the fact that they would publicize it in a like national television might take to Borneo, eh? And they didn't even think of filtering it, eh? Or like not putting it in the episode. I mean, it's still bad, but like not putting it still helps, like, because if you put it out there, it's gonna kind of be like, oh, well, is this like acceptable to say? And then people might say shit like that. Like, art imitates life. Okay, I believe in that. And if you're gonna be like, talking about beating women, people are gonna think it is normal to joke about it or even do it. Okay.
yeah, true. Not just that, but when you're like at that position where so many people are there listening to you, looking up to you, and if you do something like that, of course, people are gonna follow you in certain ways. So that's what makes it bad.
But honestly, it is also like on the other side, there are some like things like people get really sensitive, like even if it's a joke, like it depends on the extent of joke. I'm not saying like racist homophobic jokes, but then like people get very like offended on behalf of other people. Like even if it's like not a very serious joke, and it just turns into a very big deal. That is also there. Or recently, I saw it was like it's a video, and it was like Olympics happened very recently, and there was like I don't know exact theory that it was like this worker who got like fired because of something they did in like 1994, or it was just something like that where like the social circumstance was like completely different than what it is. I didn't know. So that was very like the person literally got fired or something. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, honestly depends on what that guy did because I have no
I don't
idea.
remember the thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because like
True.
if he got fired, then probably it's like bad, a little too bad.
Anyway, like talking about it, like I just said, like how people get like offended on behalf of others, right? Like, what do you guys think about that?
Like especially when it comes to like any cultural things or race related things, people on the internet, it's good that you're standing up for others, but some people like once any take the offense to themselves when it doesn't apply to them. I mean, I think we talked about this like before, but like the matter of cultural appropriation and appreciation. So, I mean, sometimes I see like let's say like American people offended on behalf of Asian people, and we're just here like we don't really mind it, but like I mean, it's good to educate yourself, but the problem with the internet is that people don't like to educate themselves, they just like to talk.
Well said.
Thank you.
The thing is, people are so invested in other people's business, especially your social media. Ligorda bunny. It's not necessary, but like that's also one of the reasons. why I think this cancel culture has gotten us so
Yeah.
body ko sa
Toxic.
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think the
Toxic.
reason, I mean, I think the reason it gets toxic is when hatred and all of the other things are included in it.
Do you guys know how this cancel culture started? Like the beginning of it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like it came out of a very unlikely place. So like it started first, Mate, it was started because of a misogynistic joke that was
Mm-hmm.
said by a character in a movie called New Jake City, where that guy breaks up with her or his girlfriend, and says, "Cancel that bitch. I'll buy another one." Ganito. So that's how it started, and now
Please.
it's that's how it started. It's
Yeah.
ironical,
I
kind
know.
of.
Yeah. I saw that video.
Did not
Oh,
see
that's so
that
funny.
coming.
Me neither.
Think about it, it's very ironical, and now people get canceled for whatever the joke that guy had said in
True.
movie ma.
Man, I thought it was like this revolutionary clean, like, take these people who are using and abusing their power of social media and their influence off of, like, I didn't think it was like from a movie.
We learn something new every day.
Exactly.
We do.
True. The more you know.
But I mean, the weird, or like, the thing is that I guess like maybe would like cancel that person, like blah 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 thing that the movie said was just like Insani. I'm gonna move on to the next. Like Risha said, it's kind of too inflated ego in the character, But it's the fact that now influencers get canceled, and they lose money, they lose their job, they lose their reputation, it's I don't think it's ironic. I don't know the right word for it. What's the word?
It is ironic.
It is ironic. Okay, so I mean, it is like it was like a joke. No, not really a joke, but now it's real life, and real people are being affected by it. Even if, I mean, like, if like those like, inhumane and stupid sick people are being affected by it, then go on. But people who cheated on their girlfriends are being affected by it. So
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just I'm not trying to support people who did wrong or not.
mm,
Sometimes it's not what they intend to do, but it happens, and
Mm-hmm.
like just a little bit, one small move can put their whole life career at risk.
mm,
So that's kind of the bad side of this cancel culture.
Just I think influencers nowadays, I think like people view like being an influencer as a very risky job for me. As well, like every
I
interview
do.
you watch, I think people will mention like hate. I think like it was just like hate comments. Oh, people say this, but like we don't respond to it. Kaki. But now it's like it's hate plus like your whole career is like gone. It's a
Hmm.
very risky like business.
People lose brand deals, and it's. I think we've talked about this. Bakare Pani is like we just talked. I mean, we just talked about it, but like people lose money and everything, and their whole life is dependent on being a person who has like influence and like social media following, the fact that they would lose brand deals and lose their followers, it seemed like a nightmare, because it's almost like I mean, I won't say it's a hard job to be an influencer, okay? Please. People work 9 to 5 and they still don't earn enough money that these influencers make. But like, I think for influencers, that's like one of the biggest nightmares. And I don't know why I feel like some some influencers like start like deleting stuff and like clearing their social media just before they come into like becoming an influencer.
No, but it's pretty hard to be an influencer. I think yay culture didn't go there. Wait, it's like your whole reputation can be like gone in like 2 seconds. It's very like walking in eggshells. Like so people get so paranoid, Ola. And that's why
Yeah,
there's so
Mhm.
many influencers they talk about like mental health and how it's like really bad for them. So I think on an emotional level, so it's like
dude,
talking.
like I personally think like to a certain extent it is good because being an influencer means that you will have like a bunch of people who will listen to what you will say. And
Mhm.
when you have that power, then you should technically be like unsani cautious about what you're saying and unsani what you're gonna do and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
the thing about cancel culture is a person like a celebrity on the internet can get cancelled for something, but like if that happens and any random person did that, no one would really care because they're nobody.
Mm.
Mhm.
Which,
But like talking about this, it's like yes, like you should be very careful because you have like younger, impressionable audience. That's very true. But it's like like me and other we talk about like K-pop stars and how like they're so like filtered. Like you can
Mhm.
see whatever they're doing is so like to so like the decorated version of themselves. Okay, it's
Yeah.
not who they are. It's just them.
Yeah.
Like it's just not them. It's just so like fake. Like very like good version. Like very fake. Very so it's like I'm saying like there should be a little authenticity in a person,
Yeah.
funny, whether good or bad. And funny, like people are not like perfect. Like funny, it's like don't expect
Yeah.
people to be perfect. Like funny, people.
No, no,
I
no.
think yeah, you can also-
I agree with Anna, but I want to say something. Sorry, I agree with Anna, and I want to say something about it. Okay, but so that's also kind of the reason why I kind of got turned off by K-pop and I stopped listening to it is
Mm.
because like the idols were too industrialized, too like
Mm.
manufactured. Like you guys said, like influencers, they have to walk, like Anna said, they have to walk on eggshells to be scared of getting canceled and being stripped away of everything they have. But like I personally think that the same treatment that we give individuals who have emotions, we should give that to big corporates and brands. Okay. So my question to you guys is it cancel culture to boycott brands that do things that we disagree with?
Definitely, but if they're doing something unethical,
Mm-hmm.
then why
Mm-hmm.
support them?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
There are other brands
True, true.
you can go to. Why go to them?
So I don't know if you guys know this, but Victoria's Secret got cancelled. Let's see, I don't know if it's called cancel, but they basically canceled themselves technically, but they got cancelled over the fact that they used to only hire skinny models and
Mm.
they're angels during their
Mm-hmm.
fashion show, like very skinny people who
Mm.
like really fit their ideal beauty standard kind of thing. I mean, right as they like started getting the backlash for it, about obviously like considering their telecast providers, whatever broadcasters did cancel their fashion show itself, but at the same time they launched this like campaign, I'd say, where they basically took out all of their previous angels and then started calling about any like sportswomen or actresses angels instead to
Mm.
like spread body positivity.
Oh my God.
So yeah, like the quick turnaround when they started getting cancelled, it kind of triggered people because they
Mm-hmm.
didn't do anything about it for years, but they started doing something about it once people started boycotting their product.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's like majority of I think like the fashion growth this matter. Obviously they are plus size model, which is great, obviously, but I think majority
No, no, no. I,
matter.
I wanna I wanna say
Isn't it?
something about that. Like Risha said, there is so many other brands that give you almost the same product or like this literally the same product that brand can provide you with. So I would boycott that brand and do it for another. Okay. And the biggest competitor that Victoria's Secret has right now is Fenty X Savage. I think it's by
Rihanna.
yeah, it's by Rihanna. Honey, I mean, queen, है ना? Her first runway also consisted of like people of color and like I guess plus size people, है ना? And that was so great, and people were praising that, na? And Malaita personally, I boycotted Panum, Victoria's Secret is because you remember like 2016, 17, the VS fashion show was so ninja trendy, and every year used to, you know, be like, oh my God, who's gonna be an angel this year? Kako. Like I wanted to be skinny like those models. I'm not blaming the models, but the thing is, for years, Victoria's Secret advertised skinny models to us. Okay? They never did shit about like it until and unless like another type, until and unless people started kind of appreciating thick body. Beauty standard keeps changing, but I was personally affected by it. Like I was having body image issues because
I have a question though regarding this. Like, if I don't know much about Victoria's Secret situation, and whatever you said is whatever I know. So the thing is, like, okay, Victoria's Secret got cancelled for like only promoting skinny, like simply that body type. I again talk about like K-pop idols, it's like pretty much the same thing, right? No, they're it's like supposed to be skinny. So like, if like Victoria's Secret is cancelled, like isn't like K-pop also promoting the same thing? So like, shouldn't like people be boycotting or canceling it? Like, I don't know, like it's just like different thing, like different worlds are doing the same thing, that it's like, okay, this is wrong, but then if they do it, oh, we love Blackpink, or like, oh, we love whatever K-pop thing.
I mean, I don't know who you're trying to call out, but I stopped listening to K-pop because of that.
I'm just wondering, like that thought just came.
No, that's true.
I don't know much about Victoria's Secret.
Plus, no, I want to say something. Anna, you reminded me. Remember that IU diets and all of that things that was.
Oh my God, it was so trendy. YouTube, my.
IU diets, Jenny diets, the eating cup butter.
3 apples one day, yeah.
Exactly.
Cancel that, but you is what
Exactly.
I say.
I did that because I wanted to be skinny, and now
Young, impressionable.
exactly.
The thing is that early K-pop is rising so much, and they've established such a platform that people are supporting them no matter what. No matter what they do, they're like, yeah, they're right. I support you. So that's why I feel like they're blinded by these factors. But they can point the same thing out to others who they don't support, stand these K-pop idols.
Yeah. We love K-pop, by the way. Like this episode,
Yeah, I listen to
hating on
K-pop too.
Yeah, you love Blackpink.
So I don't know if it's just me, but like K-pop stanism is too cult like, like they're gonna fucking come for your neck if you say something bad. So like we have to like, we can't say bad about like anything.
Oh my God. Yeah, do you guys know about, I forgot the TikToker's name, but like I think they call BTS good looking or something, and then they literally accused that guy for he was gay. So like, they literally accused him for calling those guys pretty and cute and hot and all. Okay. What?
That is
Bro.
just so.
No, I mean,
I remember there was this interview, such a famous. I think everybody knows that interview, BTS go with like this Indian, like woman, the interview, and like after the interview, like the people, they literally like went to like the get to interview going to go Twitter to search if she had any history. She had something, and she got cancelled like within 2 days of the interview. That's true. I watched the interview. I was like so impressed. It was like such like well articulated interview. Even though I don't listen to videos, it was such a great like interview. And 2 days later, the girl got cancer. That was so sad.
But the thing about canceling someone is, I don't know. I feel like I've seen people getting canceled, but then they're back again, and as if nothing has happened, and it's fine.
James Charles.
Oh yeah, James Charles gets canceled so many times. He's back again.
Yeah.
Everyone starts watching him.
Guys, James Charles should be cancelled for what he's done, and he might sue us, but he's allegedly a predator who allegedly texted minors. So I think there is literally no excuse to that. I mean, previously he's done like terrible things too, but like they realized it. I saw this amazing video by this YouTuber. I don't really remember her name, but it's Mia Panikesh. And she said the video was, is James Charles just ignorant or purely a bad human being, kako, hai na? And she talked about how his previous instances were kind of ignorance, hai na? But now is like pure predator, okay, pure, like he allegedly used his platform to prey upon people who didn't have the power dynamic that he did, or the power that he possessed when he was talking to minors as the big social media influencers, okay. And honestly, I think he should be canceled. He should be stripped away of his platform, and he should not be given what's that, makeup deals anymore. Plus, I'm gonna link the video down. I know you guys also should watch it. Like he Paila came out and said like he did it, okay, something, allegedly. But I do like the recent video he was trying to like turn the tables around and trying to make the minor seem like they were the culprit, and like he was the one who was just bad guy देखाउन खोजे जस्तो उलाई ऊ चाहिँ victim भएको जस्तो के. So cancel that bit. Sorry, cancel that boy.
You know that about James Charles, but okay.
Yeah, but I don't know how cancel culture actually works. Does it really work? Because James Charles got cancelled previously too, but he was back.
That's my question,
Exactly.
because like Tanzania, even if you get cancelled and you're like a person in power, then you will have like, oh, even if like 10% of your following cancels you, the other 90% will still back you up and like be back, like have your back, everything. So like you can never get fully cancelled, because I like remember this tattoo artist who got cancelled, and he's like very big on YouTube and stuff like that. He got cancelled because he like texted minors and sent them news and stuff like that. And Surma people were like purely mad at him for what he did, as they should be. But like after a few months, the same people who were mad at him supposedly started like going to him and like getting tattoos and stuff. And I was like, how does that work?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I
I
feel
don't
like
think it
canceling
works.
culture isn't like ending their career just so, but more like,
It's more like
spreading
public
this
humiliation at this point. Like,
kind
it's
of,
just
but
not
like
educational. It's just
I feel
I
like
public.
it
disagree.
works at Skulte to deter politically incorrect behavior,
Mm-hmm.
or like, raise voice against norms that are violated collectively, but they get cancelled and they're back again. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's still not cancelled one, no. Because like I mean, I really don't understand why they made a version of cancelled is completely not associating with it. I think I've said this before, but if you don't like an influencer and don't like the content that they've made, or they make, then just don't engage with it. The more that you do, it is gonna keep coming on your For You page, and it's gonna like come around but if you're not gonna engage with that person's content, and you're not gonna listen to them, or you're not gonna buy their merch or get a tattoo from them, you're gonna make them irrelevant. And that's what cancel culture should be: taking away the platform from them and not giving it back to them, not giving them the power to bring us back to them. And right now, I don't think anybody has been canceled except Shane Dawson, and rightfully so. I could name like so many celebrities who should be canceled, but they're not because they keep coming back. I don't engage with their content, but people do.
Okay, so I guess the final question for this episode would be, should people have so much power over something so sensitive and so impactful that could potentially ruin a person's life, but can also bring justice to someone?
They can, I mean, they have
I
the power, but they need to know how to use it rightfully, in a decent way, in a right manner that does not affect people
yeah,
in
I
negative
think where
ways.
cancel culture stands now, which is not in a very good like platform, I think I feel like say maybe I'm anti-cancel culture for now, for what it is now.
So I guess this is where we are going to wrap up this episode. Thank you to everyone who tuned into this episode. If you want to hear more from us, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram for updates and additional information. You can also reach out to us through our Confessout page with any questions, recommendations, requests, corrections, or opinions. As always, our socials along with additional sources will be linked in the description box. Once again, thank you for listening. Hope that you tune in for the new episode on Friday.